hello everybody. Here we are, ready to read again with another really good story. This is actually taken from a nursery rhyme, and I love nursery rhymes. I spent a lot of time reading them. It's pretty much how I learned how to read, by reading smaller nursery rhymes. The title of this one is, "And the Dish Ran Away with the Spoon." So I hope you know that nursery rhyme. The author and illustrators are Janet Stevens and her sister, Susan Stevens Crummell. I believe I might have read one of theirs a while ago, the Jackalope story. So I hope you like it. It's really funny, and it is all about the nursery rhymes. So let's have a go, shall we? Open up to the page, and it begins with the nursery rhyme. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Everybody up! They didn't come back. Cow opened one eye. What do you mean they didn't come back? Dish and spoon always come back. Not this time, said Cat. Look, they're gone for good. History! Adios! Leave them alone and they'll come home, mumbled Dog. Now leave me alone. Can't you see I'm dog tired? You're tired, said Cow. Ever tried jumping over the moon? Well, whoop-de-doo to you, said Dog. Why do we need dish and spoon anyway? We just do, said Cat. It's the way our rhyme goes. I fiddle, she jumps, you laugh, they run. Then they come back so we can do it next time. Without dish and spoon, there's no rhyme. No more diddle diddle. It's over. Why don't we just change their part? Dog growled. Cow yawned. We could end it, and the cow took a nap until noon. Or maybe, and the little dog bit a baboon. Dog smirked. Stop fiddling around, Cat demanded. We don't have much time. You know our rhyme gets read every night, but it can't be read without dish and spoon. We've got to find them now. Cow slowly got up. Don't have a cow, Cat. I'm coming. Doggone it, muttered Dog. I guess I'm coming too. So off went the three with a hey-diddle-dee by the light of the silvery moon. The cat and his fiddle, the cow and the dog, to bring back the dish and the spoon. Soon they came to a fork in the road. Excuse me, Fork, we're in a jam, said Cat. Dish and spoon ran away, and our rhyme can't be read without them. Can you help us? Said Fork. He thought for a moment. Let's see, a couple of lost sheep wandered by. 24 blackbirds flew over. Oh yes, I remember seeing a dish with flowers on it and a long skinny spoon. In fact, they looked kind of familiar. I think they were from the same place setting. Cut the blah, blah, blah. Get to the point, said Dog. Which way did they go? Fork glared. You are sure a grumpy little dog. They could have gone any direction. North, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, west, east. There's no such thing as west, east, interrupted Cat. I'm confused. Maybe you could draw us a map. I'll take a stab at it, said Fork. Which way should we go? Asked Cat. The three bears live 1 mile east, and Little Boy Blue's haystack is 1 mile west. 3 bears, said Cow. They say Mama Bear's bed is really soft. Fork looked worried. I wouldn't go there. The bears don't like strangers dropping by. Then it's off to the haystack, said Cat. With a blow of the horn and the cow in the corn, the three headed off to the west. The cranky old dog and the fiddling cat and the cow who just wanted to rest. Here he is, yelled Cat. He's under this haystack, fast asleep. Wake up, lazy little boy, barked Dog. Shh, he looks so peaceful, whispered Cow. I think I'll hit the hay too. There's no time for a nap, warned the Cat. Search this haystack. Achoo! Dog sneezed. The haystack was gone. Well, no dish and no spoon in there, said Cow. Little Boy Blue rubbed his eyes. Hey, where'd my haystack go? Sorry, Dog has hay fever, Cat replied. We're in a pickle. Dish and spoon ran away, and our rhyme can't be read without them. Can you help us? There's nothing to sneeze at, Little Boy Blue stretched, but I've been asleep. I can't even find my cows and sheep. And where's that horn? We're barking up the wrong tree, Dog grumbled. Let's go north to Little Miss Muffet's. With a curd and a whey and a dickory-day, they set off for Miss Muffet's place. The cat with the fiddle, the cow who could jump, and the dog with a scowl on her face. A big, creepy spider sat on a tuffet. May I help you? We're in a mess, said Cat. Dish and Spoon ran away. Yeah, Spider interrupted. I have the same problem with Muffet. I try to be nice, get to know her, sit down beside her, and gone every time. But Muffet always comes back, right? Said Cow. This time, Dish and Spoon didn't come back. Are they here? The only dishes here are the ones in the sink. Were your friends clean or dirty? Spider asked. They were clean when they left, said Dog. But who knows what they look like now? Cat rummaged through the sink. I don't see them. Now what? Spider grinned. Why don't you try Wolf's house? It's about a mile east of here. You mean the big bad wolf? Said Cow. He's not big and bad all the time, Spider said. Why, Wolf is very kind to strangers. I hear he's having some for lunch right now. With a huff and a puff and a diddly-dee-duff, by the hair of their chinny-chin-chins, the cow and the dog and the cat traveled east to where the dark forest begins. No bones about it, whispered Dog. It's dark in this neck of the woods. Cow stopped. Why don't you two just go on ahead? I'll wait here. Don't be a chicken, said Cat. I'm not a chicken, I'm a cow. Then get a move on, Cat ordered. They crept deeper and deeper into the forest. Look, whispered Cat, there's Wolf's house. I'm looking, Cow stammered. It looks pretty big and bad to me. Dog marched ahead. Come on, I bet his bark is worse than his bite. Wolf opened the door. Hello, my little morsels. Come in and join me for lunch. We're in a predicament, said Cat bravely. Dish and Spoon ran away, and our rhyme can't be read without them. Can you help us? Of course I can. Wolf licked his chops. But you three look so tired. I have a nice tub of hot water bubbling over the fire. First I can rub-a-dub-dub you down with a little seasoning. I mean bath oil. Then Dog spotted it on the floor, a tiny chip of a floured china. Our friends! What have you done with our friends? Wolf grabbed her. Come on, you dirty dog. It's time to get into the tub. I'm just in the mood for a tasty dog treat. I'm not tasty, pleaded Dog. I'm grumpy and tough. Wolf held Dog over the pot of boiling water. Then you'll taste just like my mama's cooking. Cow screamed, let that little dog go. But of course I'll let her go right into the pot, Wolf laughed. Ha ha ha! Just then, Cat had an idea. He put his fiddle under his chin and he began to play a soft and tender lullaby. Wolf stopped. He turned his head. My mama, she used to sing that song to me every night before I went to sleep. Wolf cradled Dog in his arms and crooned, rock-a-bye, Wolfie, in your big bed. Wolf lay down on the floor. He closed his big eyes and his big ears flopped. Big Bad Wolf was fast asleep. Dog wriggled free. They all tiptoed past Wolf, and then they bolted out of the door, down the path. Phew, said Cow, that was a close shave. We're not out of the woods yet, panted Dog. Suddenly, a voice boomed in the distance. Fee, fi, fo, fish. I smell the blood of a spoon and a dish. Cat, Dog, and Cow froze. The voice is coming from the east, said Cow. It sounds like a giant, cried Dog. Dish and Spoon must be at the beanstalk. Cat grabbed the map from the cow. Oh no, the beanstalk. Look how far away it is. I can help, said Cow. Hop on, I'll get us there in a flash. With a fee and a fum and a twiddle-dee-dum, the cow jumped high in the air. Over the forest and meadows they flew, and lickety-split, they were there. Cow, Cat, and Dog landed at the foot of the beanstalk. Help! Came a cry from above. We're falling down, down, down. Crash, boing! At last they found Dish and Spoon. Cat rushed over. Spoon! Spoon, are you all right? I think so, said Spoon, but where's Dish? She's over here, said Cow, and she's over here, said Dog, and she's over there too, said Cat. Oh no, said Spoon, she's everywhere. As they picked up the broken pieces, Spoon sobbed. Wolf chased us up the beanstalk, then Giant chased us down the beanstalk, and we slipped. We didn't mean to run away. Each time our rhyme was read, we went a little farther and farther. This time we went too far and got lost. It was scary. Look, Dish is trying to say something, said Cow. Quick, put her mouthpieces together. I want to go home, said Dish. With Dish in a sack, they all headed back, and they hardly a sentence was spoken. The cat, the dog, and the cow, and the spoon, their friend, and their hearts were broken. Now what are we going to do? Cat moaned as they traveled south toward home. This really is the end, the final curtain. This is nothing but a pile of chips. Our rhyme is over forever. Dog stopped in her tracks. Look, Humpty's wall. He falls apart every day. Somebody has to put him back together. Let's go find out who. They raced toward the wall, and Dog spotted a sign on a nearby tree. Jack's Repair Shop. You blew it, I glue it. Inside Jack's shop, the floor was covered with eggshells, broken beds, chairs, snipped off noses, sticks and straw. What's the problem? Asked Jack, gluing a tail on a mouse. Dish went to pieces. Our rhyme has fallen apart. Can you help us? Cat asked sadly. I am a jack of all trades, and I'm nimble and quick too. Jack took the sack, but this looks bad, really bad. I'll see what I can do. They paced up and down with a fiddle-dee frown. Spoon, little dog, cat, and cow. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't help anyone now. At last, Jack returned, and Dish was right behind him. It was tough, but I stuck with it. See, Dish is as good as new, said Jack. Well, except for the missing piece. You mean this piece? Said Dog, holding out the chip of flowered china. You found it, cried Dish. It chipped off when I was running from Wolf. I crashed into that big pot. Jack glued the chip in place. Hooray! Dish is back together, and so are we. Everyone cheered, and they rushed outside. Dish smiled at Dog. I'm a full plate, thanks to you. When the chips are down, you can count on me, Dog chuckled. Hey, guys, did you hear that? I cracked a joke. Dish began to laugh, then Spoon, then Cow, then Cat, and then Dog threw her head back and laughed louder than anyone else. Who would have believed it, said Cow. Dog really laughed. And Cat played the fiddle and saved us from the wolf, added Dog. And Cow got us to the beanstalk by jumping higher than ever, said Cat. Speaking of jumping, we better go. It's almost time. And in the winkin' blinkin' of an eye, they were back home. Quick, places everyone, yelled Cat. Hey, diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away. And the dish stayed at home with the spoon. The end. I just love nursery rhymes. There's a lot of nursery rhymes in this story, so I hope you enjoy it, and we will see you next time.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Debbie Lincoln, back to read to you today. I have two books by the wonderful Chris Van Dusen, and I hope you'll enjoy them. The first is called The Circus Ship, and Chris Van Dusen writes and illustrates his books. So here we go, The Circus Ship. "5 miles off the coast of Maine, and slightly overdue, a circus ship was steaming south in fog as thick as stew. On board were 15 animals who traveled to and fro. The next day it was Boston for another circus show. The captain, Mr. Carrington, was honest and sincere. He thought that they should drop the hook to wait for things to clear. But Mr. Payne, the circus boss, was terribly demanding. He stomped up to the helm where Captain Carrington was standing and screamed, "Don't stop! Keep going! I've got a show to do. Just get me down to Boston town tomorrow, sir, by 2." Then came a crash, an awful bash. Things flew into the air. The ship had smashed into a ledge that no one knew was there. The shattered ship began to tip, then sank without a sound. The splashing, thrashing animals swam round and round and round. The captain said to Mr. Payne, "Pray tell, what shall we do? We can't just leave them here to drown. We've got to save them, too." "The animals?" yelled Mr. Payne. "Why, sir, what are you, daft? It's me that you should rescue. Pull me up into the raft. Now ferry me to safety, sir, before I die of cold." "Don't question me," barked Mr. Payne. "Just do as you are told." Through chilly water all night long, the animals swam on until they reached an island beach just before the dawn. They pulled themselves up on the shore, bedraggled, cold, and beat. They staggered to the village on weary, wobbly feet. The people in the neighborhood had just begun to rise, and when they saw those animals, they had to rub their eyes. They thought they saw an elephant, but wait, how could that be? And what's that little monkey doing in a cherry tree? Soon animals were everywhere and into everything. "There's an ostrich in the outhouse." "There's a hippo in the spring." "There's a tiger in the tulips." "There's a lion on the lawn." "There's a python in the pantry." It went on and on and on. Mr. Hood was stacking wood and nearly jumped a mile when he found the alligator sleeping on his pile. And Mrs. Dotty Daly, who grew daisies by the bunch, discovered that the zebra had been eating them for lunch. And Miss Fanny Feeney found, according to the rumors, the silly little circus monkey swinging in her bloomers. But everything changed quickly, like the turning of the tide, the night the Abbott's shed caught fire, with Emma Rose inside. From high above the Abbott's farm, the tiger saw the shed. The sight of smoke and fire triggered something in his head. He'd jumped through flames 1,000 times back in his circus days, so he ran past all the people and leapt into the blaze. Then everybody panicked. "Help! Help! What can we do?" When the raging fire, something big burst into view. It was the most amazing sight, and everybody froze when they saw the tiger saving little Emma Rose. The tiger's risky rescue changed everybody's mind. The animals weren't bothersome. The animals were kind. And so they lived together. Side by side, they got along. It didn't seem like anything could possibly go wrong. Then, Little Red, the messenger, came running with the word. Apparently, a circus ship had sunk from what he'd heard. "The animals are from that boat. They swam in from the bay. The greedy owner wants them back. He'll be here any day." So the people called a meeting, and they quickly hatched a plan. No animal that came ashore would sail off with that man. The next day, at the crack of dawn, a ship was at the pier, and up the lane marched Mr. Payne, whose voice was loud and clear. I am the circus owner. My ship sank in the muck. I've come to find my animals and put them back to work. He hiked until he came into the center of the town. His face was red. He scratched his head. He stood there with a frown. Mr. Payne looked high and low, but still he couldn't see the 15 circus animals of his menagerie. So let's look together and see if we can find the 15 animals and where they're hiding. Let's look. On the very far left, can you see the gazelle hiding at the top of the house? And the gorilla walking off the page with his hat and coat on? And the python curled around the lady like it's her boa? And the tiger hiding next to the laundry, he just blends right in. And the lion pretending he's a shrub. And the monkey in the carriage, and the hippo hiding in the river, and the alligator pretending he's part of the stone wall, and the camel pretending he's the lumps of sand. And over on the next page, the hippo, he looks just like one of the stone boulders, and the ostrich hiding his head looking just like a tree, and the leopard hiding in the daisy patch. And the zebra, just like the picket fence, and the bear riding the unicycle, and finally the giraffe poking his head up just like he's one of the flags. Did you find them all? Well, Mr. Payne, he ran around all the alleyways. He searched the village square. He even checked a chicken coop. His animals weren't there. Mr. Payne was tuckered out. His heavy chest was heaving. Then Little Red stepped up and said, "I think your boat is leaving." He ran off in a fit of rage. His ship was leaving sight. So he jumped into a rowboat and he rowed with all his might. And from that day, they like to say, their lives were free of pain. It was a happy, peaceful place upon that isle in Maine. The end. And a very happy end for all the people and the animals on that little island with the animals from the circus ship. And here's another story from Chris Van Dusen called If I Built a School. Have you ever thought about what you would do if you had the chance to change your school and use your imagination? Well, here's what Chris Van Dusen thought about. If I built a school. Jack, on the playground, said to Miss Jane, "This school is okay, but it's pitifully plain. The builder who built this, I think, should be banned. It's nothing at all like the school I have planned. If I built a school, the first thing you'd meet are lots of cute puppies. They'd flock to your feet. But why stop at puppies? Why not a whole zoo? So I'd add a bunch of big animals too. Right off the lobby, to get to your class, I'd set up a system of tubes made of glass. You hop in a pod, press the number, then zoom! In under 10 seconds, you're right at your room. All the classrooms are built onto towers that sprout from the schoolyard like colorful flowers. The roofs open up in a similar way. Panels fold back and they let in the sun, which frankly makes being there that much more fun. Now come see your classroom. Isn't it grand? That free-floating platform is where you would stand. And using a stylus, You write in the air. No blackboard, no whiteboard, no, nothing is there. Your words just appear and they magically glow. Don't ask how this works, because I really don't know. But you're not the only one floating around. Check out the desks. They don't touch the ground. These are my hover desks. See how they glide? They even have bumpers in case you collide. In my kind of classes, we wouldn't have tests. I'd liven things up with some hologram guests. Here are some samples of what I've been thinking. You might meet a T-Rex or Abraham Lincoln. The library's next, so let's have a look. You won't find your everyday regular book. These books come alive when removed from the racks. They pop up like pop-ups, but pop to the max. And if you're not sure what a book is about, you'll find out quite quickly when something pops out. It's off to the gym, and this place is so cool. Around it, please note my perimeter pool. You race underwater on submarine bikes. Up there is my trampoline basketball court. It's partly a bounce house and partly a sport. There's also a rock wall, and here's something new. I've added some skydiving wind tunnels too. I just heard the lunch bell, so let's go and eat. I'd like you to meet my new robo-chef, Pete. He's 20 feet tall and he spins on a gear. You order your lunch in this microphone here, and Pete can make anything, simple or weird, from PB and jelly to squid, lightly seared. It's now time for recess. Let's head out the door. My playground is awesome. So much to explore. Fly on the zip line way up in the sky, or slide down the twisty slide 3 stories high. And after all that, if you're hot and you're beat, then you can go tubing. Now that would be sweet. In art, we use sprayers to splash out the paint. In music, we're loud, but our teacher's a saint. And over in science, just one of the features is lab-grown, genetically modified creatures. We'll visit new places, travel, explore, because we'll go on field trips galore. My specialty buses will tote us around. They dive underwater, they blast off the ground, and yes, they have wheels like our regular cars, which neatly retract when we rocket to Mars. My school will amaze you. My school will astound. By far the most fabulous school to be found. Perfectly planned and impeccably clean. On a scale 1 to 10, it's more like 15. And learning is fun in a place that's fun too. If I built a school, that's just what I'd do. The end. And if you like that, go to the library and you can find other books by Chris Van Dusen, If I Built a Car and If I Built a House. And you can find out what Chris Van Dusen imagined about houses and cars. So I hope you've enjoyed these books for story time. Have a great day and keep reading. Goodbye.